What if strep is your body crying for help? Hello, beautiful souls. This is Jeanette coming to you from Happiness from Within. So I'm excited to bring to you to this episode because there's a lot of you dealing with sinus infections, drippy nose, congestion, and I just want you to know that there is hope for you to heal. Okay. As you can see, I am not dressed up today. I'm taking a day off today. Spirit told me to come on here to do this because this has nothing to do with me. This is all about you guys. And just to introduce myself, my name is Jeanette. I'm the host and creator here of Happiness from Within. And the protocols that we're going to be talking about is actually coming from Anthony William from this book. It's coming from Liver Rescue. Anthony William, okay, also known as Medical Medium. And I personally wanted to share just some of my own intuition that has been coming up, right? And so I've been dealing with sinus infections ever since like my early 20s. When I was in college, it used to get really cold where I went to school. And so especially during that time of year, I would just get very severe congestion especially in the mornings when I would wake up. And I'm sure a lot of you guys can relate to this. You're probably waking up and you have severe congestion and you're like, what is going on? Am I sick? Is it just kind of a minor flu? Is it because I'm sick again, or is it allergies, right? A lot of people say that it's allergies, right? So here to my goal is that by the end of this episode, you're going to have a clear understanding of what is sinus infections, where does it come from, what is the root cause of this deliberating condition. Okay. So one of the first things let's talk about is I want to first talk about this concept of your body possibly crying from the inside, okay? This isn't something that medical medium talks about. It's just something I spiritually wanted to share because this is actually something I got from Louise Hayes from her book Heal Your Body. She talks about how when we get sinus infections, right? If you think about it, we cry on the outside, but when we're dealing with strep, which is in the lymphatic system, maybe when your nose is dripping, maybe it's your body crying internally. And really wanted to bring this message because I really feel that that's what it is, right? Your body on an internal level, especially having to do with your liver, which is what medical medium talks about. It's literally body crying from the inside. Your body is saying, "Help me, help me." There's something that is not aligned. Something is misaligned, right? So my heart goes out to you for those of you that are really struggling with this. And Spirit wants me to tell you that there is hope for you. You do not have to struggle with this for the rest of your life. It does take time to heal. So literally as you're listening to this, whether it's on your computer, on your phone, maybe your nose is dripping right now and you're thinking, "Oh my goodness, this is exactly the episode that I need to listen to right now." So let's go ahead and take those tears and turn that upside down happy face into a smiley face, okay? So the root cause of a streptococcus is actually, excuse me, the root cause of sinus infections is actually streptococcus. It's a bacteria. It's a bacteria that hangs out in the liver and eventually can go into, other organs, right? And if you're somebody that gets acne, right? If you've struggled with acne either as a teenager, as a child, as an adult, the root cause of that is also strep. Okay. So the question is how do we get rid of it? It comes down to cleansing the liver. Cleansing the liver. So our liver has 3 separate chambers. Okay. The strep can go very deep into the lower level. Okay. And so what happens is over the years, over the decades, when our liver gets so saturated, our liver becomes what we call fatty, right? Sluggish, right? It doesn't mean that your liver doesn't perform its 2000 functions. Is what happens is the food that we eat, the things that are in the air, right? The things that are being contaminated in the air is over the decades it starts to become sluggish. Does that make sense? Okay, and so we start to have symptoms such as acne. Maybe you're dealing with migraines. Maybe you're dealing with stomach issues. Right now, today, we're talking about strep. So, so one of the first things that you can do when you wake up in the morning to start waking up your liver is taking 16 ounces of water, filtered water, and squeezing a half of a lime or a lemon into your water. And this is going to gently start to release those toxins that you have in your liver and start to flush it out of your system. Okay. That is the first thing. The second thing, you want to wait 30 minutes. Are you guys ready? Is celery juice. You don't want to have it with ginger, with garlic. You want pure celery juice on an empty stomach first thing in the morning. What this is going to do, it's actually going to kill the strep on contact. This is one of my favorite protocols is the celery juice. One, to the fact because it cleanses the liver, but it kills the strep on contact. Okay. And then the third thing that you can do is have what's called the heavy metal detox smoothie. Okay. The heavy metal detox smoothie contains 5 ingredients: wild blueberries, cilantro, barley grass juice powder, spirulina, and Atlantic dulse. All 5 of these ingredients work together to remove toxic heavy metals from the body. Okay. So, one of the other biggest factors, you can call it the best friend of strep, is actually EBV, Epstein Barr. Okay. So, all of us on some level have some form of EBV in our body. Okay. There's different stages of EBV, right? And so when it comes to strep, it does hang out in the liver, but it also gets into the lymphatic system. That's why sometimes you'll get acne like on your face, you can get it on your back, your upper or your lower back, maybe even sometimes your legs. It's mainly more the upper body, right? Because it's like the respiratory, right? So the other reason I wanted to bring this to you is because I've gotten to a point where my strep has gotten really bad and I've been asking myself, why is this freaking happening? Literally just so frustrated, right? I haven't been exactly perfect with my medical meeting protocols. I've been on the protocols for 4.5, almost 5 years, and I've come a really long ways. I really have. And I share this with you, whether you're on medical meeting protocols or you're not. I just want you to be gentle with yourself. For those of you that are new, Anthony Williams, he is an incredible human being that has helped millions of people all over the world to reverse chronic illness. He's written 8 different books. He has a lot of incredible podcasts that you can check out. And so I don't want to go too much into his story. You can read about it, but basically he teaches you the correct way of how to reverse these symptoms through the right nutrition. All the information that he gets, it comes from above. What do I mean it comes from above? He says in his books that there is an angel that sits next to God called the Spirit of Compassion. The Spirit of Compassion speaks to Anthony Williams. Anthony Williams takes that information and he has put it in his books. And there are millions of people all over the world that are now reversing their symptoms and becoming healthier. So, wherever you are in life, whether you think it's skeptical, just know that why is it millions of people are actually, reversing their symptoms with this information. One of the biggest things that this information has done for me is that I had a rare condition in my body for 20 years. Out of those 20 years, 10 of those years has been a really big struggle. It was only 4.5 years ago, actually, excuse me, 5 years ago, that I came to realize that condition that I have is no longer in my body. Isn't that wild? A specific condition in my knee called pigmented venicular synovitis. Basically, what it is this condition that wraps around your joints, right? And it causes severe inflammation. And the only way to get rid of it is through surgery. And in my heart and in my soul, I knew that there had to be another way. There was so many times I was like, Google was literally like my best friend, right? I would have medicines delivered from different places of the world, just trying to find what the heck was going on because I kept getting these huge cysts like this in the back of my leg. I had my first surgery in 2011. And just fast forward, 2011, 2014, 2018, I had my last surgery. I was like, this has to be the last one. Because I literally felt like when I had my last surgery, beautiful souls, like my body just wanted to collapse. I wanted to collapse. It was just, I was so weak. And I was like, I cannot go through this again. I was like, there has to be a different way. There has to be another way. Right. And so in 2020, I found Anthony William information. I was very skeptical. But as I continued to read his books, something in my soul told me that celery juice, this is the answer. So I started with celery juice, right, for the first 6 months. And so I simply just wanted to share part of my story, whether you're new here or you've been listening to the podcast for some time. I want you to know that the body has an amazing way of healing itself. It truly, truly does. And so I want to give you that hope to tell you that whatever symptoms that you are dealing with, that you can reverse these symptoms. It does take time. This is not something that happens overnight, okay? But I can reassure you just through my personal experience, meeting Anthony and meeting so many people in this incredible community, the body has an amazing way of healing itself. Your body wants to heal. Your body does not want to be sick, okay? And so one of the things that I wanted to bring to light in regards to the strep is let's talk about some other ways, right, for knocking down this very annoying bacteria. Okay, so we talked about water with lemon, wait 30 minutes, celery juice, and then heavy metal detox smoothie. So let's say right now you're not in a position to do the heavy metal detox smoothie. So let's talk about some other fruits that you can bring in. Okay. So other fruit that you could actually bring in. You know what the other ingredient I forgot to tell you for the heavy metal detox smoothie was bananas. So let's just say right now you don't have all the ingredients for the heavy metal detox smoothie. Is you can have bananas for breakfast. Bananas are one of the other top foods for killing off strep. Okay. What banana does is when it enters your stomach, it puts like this how does medical media explain it? It's like this protective barrier in your stomach, in your intestines. And that's why over time, when you continue to eat bananas, especially if you go on a banana mono cleanse, it really starts to heal your gut. It's really, really amazing for killing off strep. I'm not a huge banana person, but if you love bananas and you're dealing with strep, and let's say you're on a budget and that's all you want to eat is bananas, then hey, go for it. The mono cleanses, he actually talks about those in his book, Cleanse to Heal. So if you want to learn more about the mono cleanses, please check out Cleanse to Heal. Okay. So bananas are really, really great, right? Now, the other thing that we want to keep in mind, right, when you're dealing with any sort of chronic illness condition, but especially strep, it's really important that you're keeping the immune system very high, keeping a high immune system. So How do we keep our immune system high? Having a very high quality zinc. So there's an amazing company called Vimergy. 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 I actually have the supplements over there. I just don't want to get up right now. So, I'm in my pajamas right now and I don't need to show you guys my full body. But hey, it's all good, right? So, but Vimergy zinc, you can take 2 dropfuls every single day and it will really help you start boosting your immune system. It does take time to build the immune system. It's not something that happens overnight. And the second supplement I would say as a must is B12. Absolutely B12. Okay. So those 2 together are really going to help you to keep your immune system high. There's one more. There's one more. Vitamin C. Vimergy also has a vitamin C. So not just orange juice, but a really good high quality vitamin C. I use about 3 scoops every single day, which is about 6,000 milligrams. But especially when you're dealing with chronic illness, you want to make sure that you're getting in at least 6,000 milligrams is what medical medium talks about. If your body can handle more, then have more. Okay. So let's review what we've gone over so far. We've been talking about streptococcus, right? Sinus, if you get sinus infections, ear infections, right? It's really important not that you're just cleansing the liver, but you're also keeping your immune system high. Okay? So we are sharing a lot of information today. I want you to take or leave whatever resonates with you. If you were to start with one thing, I would start with celery juice. Okay? And let's talk about things that actually feed strep. Okay? So there's these things, excuse me, that medical medium talks about, which are troublemaker foods. Okay. In his book, Cleanse to Heal, you can read all about the troublemaker foods, but there's also steps. There's steps that you can take, okay, to remove these troublemaker foods. Okay. One of the biggest ones that he recommends to start out off the bat to eliminate, especially when you're dealing with strep, is dairy. Dairy and gluten. Dairy and gluten are a big no no. Okay. And I can tell you from personal experience that I have noticed a big difference even from this was way before medical medium when I started eliminating dairy. I think I eliminated dairy, I believe it was like 2009, I believe. I just my internal intuition told me you need to eliminate dairy. And so I did notice that I started to get less congested. I was really young back then. But yeah, eliminating dairy, that can be a tough one for a lot of people, but there's alternatives that you can use, right? You can try like oat milk if you're trying to try to take that step to start doing an alternative milk instead of regular milk, right? So that's a step. And then gluten. Gluten is another one. But I would say to start with those 2. Okay? Because if you're not eliminating the things that are feeding the strep, you're going to continue struggling with chronic illness. Unfortunately, that is what it is. Okay? Actually, another one I would tell you is to eliminate eggs. I know this is going to trigger a lot of people, but you have to understand one of the things that medical medium talks about that you will not hear about anywhere else, right? Is that eggs, they actually, in order to feed the virus a BVB, they actually used eggs for that in a laboratory many years ago. So, what do you think they advertise on commercials all the time here in America? What is the breakfast that they're always advertising in all the American movies? Huevos. It's eggs, right? The standard American breakfast. So healthy. Eggs, bacon, and toast, right? Now, if you're probably thinking, I'm not going to stop eating eggs. If you are dealing with chronic illness and you're dealing with strep and you want to continue being sick, then by all means, go ahead. But for those of you that are ready to heal, this video is for you. That is why you are here, because you are struggling. Okay. So, one of the questions that came to light, one of you are thinking, well, I have acne, Jeanette. I have cystic acne. Like I have scars on my face. Can I reverse that? Guess what? Yes, you can. Yes, you can. So the reason that we start to get something like cystic acne, the scarring, is because the strep underneath what he calls the dermis starts to get depleted, right? It starts to develop scar tissue, right? And so through time you can definitely heal that. Absolutely, absolutely. I want to read something to you here. Look at this. He has This is from Liver Rescue, right? He has a whole section that he talks about acne. Isn't that amazing? He has a whole section in here that he talks about the strep too. So, another thing you might be thinking, well, Jeanette, I don't have strep. I'm completely healthy. That's not the reason I have acne. So, one of the other root reasons of where this comes from is actually medications that we took when we were younger. Now, if you think you've never taken medication, think about the water that you're drinking. When people dump their prescriptions down the toilet, down the drains, all that stuff gets in our water, right? You have to understand this is not about being perfect. Unfortunately, we live in a very toxic world. Unfortunately, they spray things in our air, they put things in our food. But I want you to know that you have tools, you have protocols that you can use to absolutely start reversing these symptoms. I know many people in medical medium that have completely healed their bodies literally through these protocols. It is so life changing. If you go to medical medium's Instagram page at medical medium, you can see all the testimonials. You can also go to his website. It is so amazing. So I'm just simply a soul here bringing light and love with his information so new people can hear about it, and to bring you light, to bring you hope that you can absolutely heal. I want to talk about a few other protocols, because one of the biggest things that you want to do when you're dealing with strep and also EBV is that, because it's viral, right? EBV is it's a virus, right? Medical medium has been talking about viruses for over 40 years, right? COVID-19 wasn't like it might have been like some new virus, yeah, that they created in a lab also, but viruses have been around for some time that we can think of, right? So, ooh, I'm getting kind of hot just talking about this stuff. I was like, woo! So, I still can't believe I'm in my pajamas doing this episode, but you know what? Just here being real, bringing light, bringing love, right? When I'm called by spirit to do an episode, I hop on. I wanted to do this just via audio. I didn't want to do this via but the important thing is the message, right? It's about the message. This is about you guys healing, finding light. Medical medium also talks about, I want to tell you that he doesn't just talk about food. He talks about also healing angels. One of my favorite angels is the angel of mercy. If you're really struggling in your darkest hour, you can call upon the angel of mercy. All you have to do is say, Angel of mercy, please help me. I'm dealing with strep. Literally, like sometimes I'm literally screaming in my bed because I'm like, my nose is literally dripping. I'm just like, please, I don't want to deal with this anymore. Right. And I'm like laying in my bed, like, oh my God, literally so congested. That's how I was yesterday. Whew. And so, yeah, there's 27 essential angels that he talks about in his revised and expanded book, How to Finally Heal Chronic Illness. Yeah, you guys, I just really wanted to bring this episode to you guys. Oh, yes, I wanted to talk about two specific teas. Thyme tea. TH. Let me write it down. Thyme tea. Thyme tea. Thyme tea is very good for bringing down the viral load in your body, right? Because if you're dealing with a sluggish liver, you most likely might be dealing with a very high viral load in your body, right? It's different for everyone. And you know, the thing that really is just not cool either is medical medium talks about how there's different strains of strep. So depending how many different strains you have, I mean, you can pick it up in public restrooms. You could pick it up as somebody sneezes, right? Again, this is not about being in fear. This is just you knowing that you have tools to protect yourself, right? The last one I want to talk about is burdock root. Burdock root. Burdock root. You can buy this fresh right now. I am actually taking it as a tea. Okay, burdock root tea. Burdock root tea is actually very good for helping to boost the immune system. Okay. He talks about I believe 7 wild foods. This is one of the ones that he talks about. It's very good for boosting the immune system, very good for sinus and throat infections, right? But just recognize that this does take time. I sound like a broken record, but I just do want to say that. Okay. So in regards to your body crying, let's go back to that. Your body is crying because it wants help. Maybe you are a woman that has gone through trauma. Or if you're a man listening to this, you are a human being that has gone through just a lot of past wounding, right? And maybe not just this lifetime, other lifetimes, right? As a collective, all of us have gone through something traumatically, even if it wasn't this lifetime, right? But maybe you're carrying, and I don't want to say memories. I just want to say maybe things in your DNA that's this heaviness. Maybe your body's crying because it's trying to release those things. This is really deep stuff that I'm talking about. I want you to know that whatever it is, you don't have to figure it out. Just want you to know that you can heal. Yeah, but when I talk about your body crying, this was something that came up through spirit. And I was like, wow, that makes a lot of sense. Because all of us are carrying so much. And I just feel like, I don't know if it gets stuck in our DNA or in our soul, but I also want to tell you, Medical Medium has these really incredible meditations that you can listen to. If you go to his page, you can definitely check it out. I definitely recommend for you to check him out. Until I take my last breath, I will never stop talking about Medical Medium because he has completely changed my life. I literally was able to avoid a 4th knee surgery because of his information. So whatever you're going through, whether you are laying in bed right now and you are bedridden, Spirit wants you to know that you can heal. Okay? Um and if you're a woman and you're looking to heal from illness, you're ready to heal yourself naturally, maybe you're self-sabotaging yourself to stay comfortable, whatever it is, beautiful soul, I'm actually going to be doing I would love to invite you to an incredible workshop. I'm doing this incredible workshop on Saturday, May 9th, 2026. So whenever you're watching this, and I would love to invite you. I'm actually going to be talking more about like where a lot of these root causes, why are we getting these symptoms, right? Why is it that we get new symptoms, right? But I'm going to be talking about more about these healing foods, right? What we can do to heal ourselves at a root, from the root. Just like the trees have a root, these symptoms have a root reason. So if you'd love to join me, please comment below the word heal and I will send you over the link for that. If the link is not already below for you to register, I will try to remember to put the link below just to make it easier. There will be a replay of the workshop. So whenever you're listening to this, even if it's months from now, I do have a copy of the workshop that I can send to you. But it's going to be a 2-hour amazing workshop out of this world and would love to have you. And if you know of any other woman that is dealing with chronic illness and could benefit from the workshop, please share this video. And if you're getting value from this, I would love if you could subscribe. Please subscribe, Share this with 3 other people that can use this. And I just want you guys to know that you are a wonderful, amazing, incredible, beautiful soul. You deserve to be happy. You deserve to have light in your life. You don't have to suffer forever. You're a beautiful beacon of light. And I just wish you nothing but beautiful happiness. I feel like the person listening to this right now, you're a beautiful soul. You have a beautiful white aura light around you. I see green aura light around you. Your angels are with you, guiding you every step of the way. Take time to have silence, stillness, and solitude, and you will never go wrong with yourself. Okay. But that's the message that I have for you guys today. Thank you so much for being here. No matter what platform you're on, whether you're on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, please subscribe. That way I can connect to your energy. And let me know what other kinds of episodes you guys would like me to bring you. I specialize in helping women entrepreneurs, people that are in businesses to heal their bodies. But I would just love to hear what else you'd like me to talk about, right? Because this podcast does not happen without you guys. It has nothing to do with me. I'm simply the messenger of light. But please let me know. I would love to hear in the comments. Let me know something that's working for you. Would love to connect with you. But that's it for now, you guys. I just want to wish you a wonderful, fabulous evening, morning, wherever you are. And again, thank you for being here. Thank you for showing your light. And I will see you guys on the next episode. Have a wonderful, fabulous day. Bye for now.